Oh, I love that. There's a question here. How do you believe when the monkey mind takes over? I love that monkey mind because that's what it's like, isn't it? But you know what? It really, it can get very, very, very quiet. I really want to inspire you and encourage you that it can get very, very quiet. And um, so one of the things to do is just don't identify with all of those thoughts that are jumping around everywhere. And this takes a little bit of practice, right? Because what might happen is, let's think of some situation. You're at work and your boss kind of gets into you about something. And that's usually when the monkey mind appears, right? When you're upset. And then it's just like, great, got all this energy. I'm going to go crazy. Boss always picks on me. Boss does this, that. And so when you have a situation like that, where the mind is doing that, just notice the mind. Just notice it. The minute that you notice it, you are no longer believing it, and your mind is going into the background. If you would just notice those thoughts instead of believing those thoughts. So if your boss beeps you out and then you start to have all of those thoughts, and you know what, you might be 2 hours later, you might be the next morning and you've still got all the thoughts coming, and then you suddenly notice the thoughts. That is fantastic that you've remembered, because that noticing disempowers the mind. The more that you can notice and not identify with those thoughts that you don't want, the weaker and weaker the mind will get, the negativity in the mind. And soon it's just going to be like a little lamb that you can use for whatever you want, because that's the only reason why we created the mind. We created the mind this is my teacher told me this, and I love it. We created the mind for one reason, to manifest what we want on earth. That's why we've got it. It's not our psychologist. It doesn't know anything about psychology. It's not our psychiatrist. It doesn't know anything. It doesn't know anything about your mum. It doesn't know anything about your best friend or your boss. So just keep it in its right category, and then you will start to lessen the impact of your mind, and that monkey mind will start to get quieter and quieter. But it's a great question. Even if you could just notice monkey mind is at it, even if you just notice that, the minute that you notice it, it means you're not believing the thoughts anymore. Because you know what? It really doesn't matter how many thoughts come flying, the mind sends to you. You're not your mind, by the way. That's a recording, But the mind is just sending heaps and heaps of thoughts. They are not you. It doesn't matter how many it sends. All that matters is that you don't believe the ones that you don't want. That's all that matters. Let them come and go, let them come and go. It doesn't matter a bit. Just don't believe the ones that are not what you want in your life and that are negative.